Now we're going to head back to the undergraduate ranks to hear from the current Vice President of Recruitment from the Wichita chapter. In the past year, he's been to Dual, RLA, and LI, and this has helped him develop his speech that he's going to read to you today. Speak to you today. Sorry about that. He'll be talking about finding your place in your chapter. Please welcome Isaac Stine, Wichita, class of 2017.
Hi guys, this is kind of surreal for me. Last year in Phoenix, I was sitting in the seats and I was thinking to myself, man, I would love to be up on stage speaking in the Ignite series. It's just something that kind of captivated me. As people were giving speeches, it really did ignite me. It ignited a fire inside of me. So I really wanted to be up here, but thinking of an idea that's worthy to share with all of you guys is kind of difficult. When you think about it, you have to have something that applies to everybody here. So I started thinking, what am I passionate about? Well, obviously, I'm passionate about Delta Upsilon. I love this fraternity and what it stands for. So what could I talk on about DU? Well, I could talk about our oath. It's what our whole fraternity is built on. It's the backbone of Delta Upsilon. But Brother Craig Sal beat me to that last year and gave one of my favorite speeches of all time. If you haven't heard that, go on YouTube, look it up. It'll change your life, I swear. So I decided to take a different route. So I started thinking about all the opportunities that have been afforded to me because I am a DU man. I was fortunate enough to attend Dual, like it was said. Before you go to Dual, you do what's called Strengths Quest. And in Strengths Quest, you answer a bunch of questions about yourself, and it gives you your top 5 strengths. My top 5 strengths are future, which means I like to think about the future and plan things out ahead. Woo, which means winning others over, includer, communication, and positivity. Now, fast forward a year, and Josh Chase, a brother from my chapter, gets to go to Dual. His top 5 strengths are discipline, achiever, includer, consistency, and analytical. So why did I just share those with you? Well, let's compare me and Josh Chase. A year ago, I was our vice president of scholarship. Positivity, that might play a role in scholarship, but no one wants to be included in my study hour plan. Not really a thing. So that kind of showed through my time as vice president of scholarship. It went okay in parts and really bad in others, to be quite honest with you. Josh Chase, on the other hand, is our vice president of administration. He thrives in that position. He's on track to help us make gains that we've never made before as a chapter. He has us on time with our bills and everything. And he's also really good at getting others in the mindset that, hey, I do need to pay off my bill. So what am I passionate about today? I'm passionate about helping you determine what your strengths are and how you can help grow those. So throughout my 2 years in Delta Upsilon thus far, I've kind of noticed a trend. There are 4 groups of people in each chapter. Now, you might not fit exactly in each one of these, but I guarantee you'll make a connection. Also, just as a little word, these people aren't necessarily meant for executive board positions. These are just actions played out by those members in your chapter. So let's start with this first group. The first group is the recruitment chairs. Recruitment chairs are those people that are all about promoting the fraternity. They have those stories that every time they tell them, you get chills down your spine. They're the guys that every time you bring someone new out to an event, you want them to talk to. They know why we're the best fraternity, and they love sharing it with everyone they can. The next group are your GPA raisers. Now this one, I honestly had a little bit of a hard time coming up with a name for, so this might not accurately describe them, but this isn't necessarily the guy in your chapter that has a 4.0. It sure can be, but isn't necessarily. I like to use my vice president of scholarship as a really good kind of example of this. He's one of those guys who's really awesome at motivating people to do things. The reason for that is because he listens. He understands what people's problems are and really kind of figures out what an effective solution to that problem is. He's really good at one-on-one, and people enjoy opening up to him. He makes them feel comfortable and safe. And that's what these people are all about. That's why I call them your GPA raisers. They also are your morale raisers. They're the guys that get your chapter excited to do things that they wouldn't normally be excited about. Your next group of people are your brotherhood chairs. Honestly, Matt Penzano is probably one of those people. These are the guys that everyone is friends with. Everyone in your chapter likes to be around them. Even the associate members to the guys that are old balls that have been there for their 6th year now. People like these guys, but they're also actively trying to get everyone involved in events. They make sure everyone gets an invite and don't play favorites. These guys also happen to be exceptionally good mediators. Whenever a conflict comes up between brothers, they're the guys that are stepping in between and keeping a level head and trying to settle down the situation and find a solution. Your last group of people are your idea guys. Your idea guys are really great because when they speak in your chapter meeting, everyone listens. They almost speak pure gold. They know exactly where the chapter needs to go to be a sweepstakes finalist next year or to win for a 3rd time in a row. They know what they're doing, and everyone wants to know. See, those 4 groups, I hope you identified in some way with one of. So maybe you were, oh man, I'm totally one of those recruitment guys. Or maybe you were like, well, I'm just barely one of those recruitment guys. Either way, that's fantastic, because what you just did is identified one of your strengths. To be successful in life, one of the best things you can do is identify your strengths and build on those. But you can't just be focused on your own strengths. You have to be focused on the strengths of others around you, because you're going to be weak in some area or another. Really, one of the best things my chapter has done, in my opinion, in the past year is this thing called True Colors. Because we kind of get that we're a team. And in this True Colors activity, we were divided into groups based off some questions we answered, and each group had a color. And each group had to come up with things that were specific of their color, strengths, weaknesses, just things that they thought really defined that color. So at the end of the time that they had, everyone had to present and then answer questions from each group. This was probably the best part of the activity. Why? Because all of the conversations that can spawn from that. Just one example, the blue color. These are you guys that are really good with dealing with emotional things and getting people to open up. See, they work really well with the greens. Your greens are kind of your really quiet guys, but also your really deep thinkers. These are the guys that have some really great idea just brewing, but are too scared to share it. See, so the blues can work with the greens to get the greens to open up and share that idea with your chapter. And like I said, that's just one example. Obviously, I can't go into a lot of detail. But things like that happen all the time from these activities. I guarantee you on your campus, somewhere, there's an administrator who can facilitate one of these activities in your chapter. See, if you go talk to the K-State chapter, the Washington chapter, the Nebraska chapter, all these guys that are sweepstakes finalists year after year, they will tell you this is how their chapters operate. They operate on a basis of teamwork because people know their strengths and know other people's strengths as well. To be successful in life, you're going to have to plug in those people around you that can help you succeed. In my opinion, Josh Chase and I, kind of a power couple in DU, because our strengths play really well together. Go out, I challenge you to go out and find those guys in your chapter that can help make you even more successful. If you can do that in your fraternity, think about what you can do out in the real world. Think about how DU could change the world if a group of you guys realize that, hey, I'm not the best at this, but this guy is. Let's get together and let's do something new. Let's go out and succeed. Because as a group, you're all that much more powerful. Thank you.